Welcome along to Amp Next Gen with me, Richard Conway. So, here we are, episode 8, and on this episode we have the audio diary from Roz. Now, Roz was trying to qualify from the beginning of our Next Gen venture for the Aquabike, and a race was up in Northumberland, and it happened a couple of weekends ago. And if you remember, she was trying to qualify for an Aquabike because she was suffering from a long-term injury which prevented her running. So, not deterred, she decided that she was going to go down the Aquabike route and try and qualify. And she hasn't had the easiest of journeys, if we're being honest, with a crash on the bike and life and work demands. I don't think she's trained as much as she would have liked to, from her own admissions on previous audio diaries, but she got to the start line, and that's the main thing. So here's Roz's final.
Hi Rich, I'm really pleased to say that I got to the start line of my race this time, which is more than I could say last time, and got to the finish line as well, and had a fantastic day today racing up in Northumberland. I did the standard Aquabike, which was the Agegroup World Champs qualifier, and did really well. I was really pleased. My aim was just to go out, enjoy it, do my best, hoping to qualify for the age group. And not only did I win my age group, but I actually came first lady overall. So I'm just over the moon, and I'm genuinely so surprised about that. It was a great event, really well organised. Marshals, volunteers, everyone was fantastic, and was so good to be back racing. It's been a long time since I've done a race, and absolutely loved it. I did a sort of race simulation last weekend, an open water swim, then straight onto the bike, which was really valuable, really good to know kind of how it would feel. Things like trying to hold an aero position on the bike after you've done a swim is a little bit harder than not doing a swim because my arms were tired. But I was prepared for that, so that was really good, and just kind of practicing all the little bits of transition. On the actual race, my first transition swim to bike was fine. My second transition, because we finished with about a 10-metre run just to cross the finish line, so I had to dismount the bike. I got a little bit enthusiastic, didn't quite slow down enough, and face planted the gravel. It was quite gravelly at the dismount line, but managed to pick myself up, run. So I've got all sorts of cuts and bruises and scrapes all over my legs and feet, but it was worth it. Still managed to hang on to the win. So I'm over the moon, and as far as I can understand, I think that means that I qualify. Perhaps you can clarify for me there. Yeah, I think so. I'll find out the official confirmation on Wednesday. But at the moment, I'm exhausted. I'm chuffed. I'm so happy. And a lot in kind of disbelief. It's just really encouraging. Like I haven't trained with the club, haven't had a coach, so this was just kind of me doing my own thing and seeing what I could do, and especially kind of off the back of 3 weeks off with my other bike crash. That kind of removed any sort of expectation for me, because it was just, okay, you know what, it hasn't been the smoothest run up, so just do what you can. And yeah, I'm over the moon. I'm really over the moon. I gave it everything, and it was worth it.
Wow. Well, I am delighted, to say the least, that Roz has actually done what she set out to do. It's an absolute fantastic result. Not only qualifying, and not only coming first in your age group, but being the first woman overall, and that's after face planting on T2. Yeah, she's done it all on her own. No, like she said, no coaches, no clubs, no nothing. Just, all her own work. So it just does go to show what can actually be done. Yeah, so if there's anybody out there that is thinking about trying to do a qualifier and represent the country, there you go. She's just done it. Without all the bells and the whistles, she just turned up, did her best, and got the result. So fantastic news. Well done, Roz. So glad that you enjoyed the experience, first and foremost, because that's the main thing. That's what we do it all for. So yeah, that's really cool. And I'm just delighted, like I said, that you got the result. So onwards and upwards. I hope to catch up with you and do a proper chat at some point. We'll get that organised, and we'll put that one out as well. So, and you can go into detail of the whole experience. So that'd be fabulous. So that brings us to the end of AMP Next Gen, and really enjoyed listening to the guys' diaries that they've sent in over the last few weeks and months. And it was a bit of a spin-off from the main podcast, but yeah, I think it's been worthwhile. Loved hearing how they've got on a fortnightly basis. Sadly, a couple of the guys, obviously for various reasons, couldn't continue, but it was so good to hear Roz's success story and finish on a high. So we might be looking to do this again. If you're interested, you can get in touch with us, or if you know anybody that is starting out in the age group qualification route, you can get in touch with us by sending us an email at agegroupmultisportpodcast@gmail.com, or you could drop us a DM on Instagram, and our Instagram handle is amp_1967. Also on Facebook at ampgb, or Twitter at Age Group Multisport Podcast. And like I say, if you or anybody you know is setting out on a journey and they wouldn't mind coming on to AMP Next Gen, we can keep this going. So that's about it. Thank you ever so much again for listening and all your comments and messages. Much appreciated. And we shall finish up, as always, by saying stay safe, keep training, and love the process. And we'll see you next time on the Age Group Multisport Podcast.